What's going on? Are you trapped in some kind of endless time loop? No, but my name is Doofy Doo, and this is my talk through of Shiren the Wanderer episode 0. You've probably figured it out by now, but in this special bonus episode, I'm going to show you the best beginning in the game. Way back in 2010, when I first fell madly in love with this game, I read a developer's interview in Joystick, in which Shinichiro Tomi, the planning and events director for quite a few Shiren games, casually mentioned that your companions would show up in the final cutscene if they were still alive. And I always remembered that, but of course by that time I had beaten the game. He also mentioned that this was very difficult, and he was not kidding. This is my second serious attempt. The first one was a failure. As soon as somebody dies when you're trying this, you have to immediately die on purpose and hoard a bunch of items for another attempt. It's not as hard as Faye's final puzzle, but it definitely takes a lot more preparation than any of the other post-game dungeons. Alright, I want to concentrate because I do not want anyone to die on this last floor. Oh no, I'm immobilized. Ketchy, what are you doing? Don't play with that skull wraith. Please, please be careful. Oh god, I gotta save him, and I'm stuck here. I empathize so much with parents who have kids in the grocery store that run off now. Let me just say that Ketchy plus Monster House plus Spiky Bombs equals Doofy Heart Attack. Alright, punch it, Pex. Good, they killed it. This is like the worst escort mission ever. And I hate escort missions in general, but this is a doozy. I experimented with items quite a bit before I made this attempt to make sure I'd have the best chance of success. And it turns out that the sleeping scroll is much more useful than the scroll of confusion, because a confused enemy can actually still kill one of your companions on the later floors, just because they're so strong. Alright, the only bad thing is, as soon as sleeping enemies wake up, they have double movement. And then when you put them back to sleep, they wake up even faster because they have double movement. So, you gotta make sure that you finish the floor as quickly as possible. At least I now know that the enemy at the very bottom is a Tainted Insect. Another really useful item, the Doppelganger Staff, because you can distract your buddies so they don't try to take on the Tainted Insect by themselves. Right, I'm going to leave this Doppelganger alive and let them go play with it at the top of the screen. Obviously, I'm going to cheap the Tainted Insect to death with mammal meat, and I have brought 3 this time because I do not want to miss and then have no meat to throw. I'm so nervous, I don't know where I put it. Let's see, it's in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, come on, mammal meat. Alright, first try. You miss out on that 7,777 experience when you turn the Tainted Insect into a mammal, but I don't really care. I'm just happy I actually made it this time. Oh, I'm so happy I'm going to do this spinning dance of joy. Lady and gentlemen and Ketchy, you did an outstanding job. Thank you for staying alive. I'll probably upload the other talk-through episodes that lead up to this moment, maybe after Ceremonial Cave, but it was no cakewalk. There were some crazy things that happened on this run. I'm so glad I am alive. I am going to treasure this knockback staff. I'm going to give it its own jar of holding. I'm kind of sentimental, so I hold onto items, even if they're not rare items from certain runs. I'm going to remember this run. Alright guys, good job. Or you? Sure is exciting. Pex, alright, you did your best. Ketchy, oh my gosh. Way to ruin the moment, man. This is not the time for sensual massage. Alright, back to the golden chicken. I should have a sword this time to slice it open. When I first heard about this, I went to YouTube to look for a movie, and it turns out Nuki Bagu actually recorded the second best beginning to the game, in which Ketchy and Oryu were alive, but he didn't have pecs. My financially irresponsible but lovable baby bro. Golden Chicken's like, are you guys serious? Well, thanks for helping me out, guys. Guess you have to walk back. See you later. Alright, come on, hop on. Poor Golden Chicken. That is a lot of weight. Pex alone probably worth a couple Shirens. I mean, I love him, but he's a big guy. And we're off once again. I don't think I'm going to engage in any inappropriate behavior on the back of the chicken. But when I do ship these characters in Shiren, and sometimes I do just to be goofy, I think Oryu eventually falls in love with Pex, because he becomes quite a manly man if you keep bringing him along on your party. He's actually the strongest character in the game, although he does have a horrifying tendency to occasionally punch you so hard that you die. Remember that, Pex? Remember when you punched me so hard that I died and had to start the game over? Oh, those are good times. But who does that leave for Shiren? Oh yeah, I think it might be Ketchy. I think Ketchy might have a secret crush on Shiren the Wanderer. He sure does love to put his hands on him, that's all I'm saying. If you're just starting out playing this game, and you're thinking, oh, that looks pretty cool, maybe I should wait and beat the game when everyone's alive. It's more difficult than it looks. Number one, of course, you have to unlock all of the characters before you beat the game, because you only get one chance to beat the Tainted Insect. Number two, you have to power up Pex all the way until he says, I stood under a waterfall. Then he won't constantly pester you for rice balls, and he'll actually do more damage and be more reliable generally all around. Number three, you have to deal with the problem of NPCs in hallways. Of course, when you're by yourself, you just press B and you go around the NPC. But when you're with your delightful Doofy companions, they are stuck behind the NPC and they go off and do stupid things on their own because apparently they don't know how to say excuse me and walk past an NPC. Number four, even if there aren't any NPCs in the corridor, when you have 3 people in your party, you can't really see the last person, so sometimes they will just see a monster and stay and take damage, even though it's in the wall. So many ways that they can die. Problem number 5, and if you've ever played Shiren for the Wii, this will sound familiar. Suddenly the spring trap and the teleport spell are the most horrifying traps in the game, because suddenly you are on the opposite side of the map and your companions are doing stupid things God knows where. And you read the dialogue boxes and it's just heartbreaking. My first attempt, I don't even want to think about it. Number 6, you probably noticed I have a ludicrously overpowered weapon. That is not by accident. My first attempt, I did not have such a powerful weapon and I wasn't able to one-hit a lot of the monsters. Alright, this is a pretty scene. It's a little pixelated, blown up, but I might draw a picture of this scene just to commemorate this moment. Watching the golden chicken fly away a second time. Somebody needs to give that chicken an extra big tip, because that was a big load to transport. What was that? Oh yeah, during my first run, I couldn't one-hit the powerful enemies at the end of the game, and those enemies are strong enough, if there's 2 of them, to kill one of your companions in one turn. So you really have to take them out quickly. Oh yeah. All 4 of us walking away from the sunset. This is what I really wanted to see. This is worth it. Everybody together. Oh, this is so nice. Number 7. As I said before, failure is not an option. So you have to play as if you're gonna win every time, because you do not want to intentionally die and then hoard all those items again. And yet, at the same time, number 8. Failure is always an option. So you don't want to get items that are extremely rare and hard to get, because you might have to try again and you don't want to have to get those items all over again. So you're really limited to more common items in the game, which I appreciate. It's kind of a unique challenge. Number 9. There's only room for 1 file on a card of Shiren, so if you have a lot of really great memories stored, you probably don't want to erase all of your data. I got around this by buying yet another copy of Shiren the Wanderer. It is the 4th time I have bought this game. I did return one of them, but I do own 3 copies. Yes, I am crazy. And finally, number 10. No one will really care. This isn't something you really put on a resume. You know, I got the best beginning in Shiren the Wanderer. Yep, all 3 alive. But I care. I love this game, and to the extent that it is possible to feel affection for blobs of pixels on a screen, I care about these 3 lovable Doofy wanderers that have survived this with me. And I care about all the monsters who did their best to kill these lovable characters. So I made this bonus video just because I enjoyed this game and I like these characters. Or you didn't just steal my kidney. You also stole my heart. Now, please give it back before I bleed to death. Pex, I'm sorry I said your mom was a pumpkin, because that means my mom would be a pumpkin too. But you trained hard and you became a real man. I'm so proud of you. Ketchy, I'm glad you stopped lying about being blind so you could spy on naked ladies. Also, please stop touching me. Copa, you're greedy, you're sarcastic, but of all the animals I've ever shoved into my pants, you'll always be my favorite. And finally, to both of my loyal viewers, thank you. I can't wait to die over and over and face Final Puzzle while you watch. We are the Wanderers, my friend, and we kept on fighting till the end. We killed the insect and we rode the chicken. There's always time for playing if the game is Shiren the Wanderer.
Ketchy, what are you doing? Don't play with that skull wraith.